$5,000. Where did that happen? I bought the
$50 per egg.
golden butt nuggets.
So that when our kids have grandkids, we can sit all feeble in a armchair and say, I remember a time
We couldn't get no eggs.
we couldn't get no
They were
eggs.
$10 a dozen.
So we went and spent $2,000 on buying fucking chickens. Because it was a better plan for eggs for the next year.
But for real. That's exactly what I did.
You're welcome.
I like the look of chickens, and I like having them, and it makes me happy.
I fucking love chickens.
So
I would hug
that,
on
like,
a chicken.
That totally like adds to my ambience of my homestead is that I have chickens. But yeah, the egg having them to produce eggs has not been going so well.
When I was a kid, I always had pet chickens. There were I had one that was always my favorite, and that was my pet chicken.
I didn't have that.
That one wasn't killed.
Oh, that's
your
nice.
Your favorite animals were killed.
All of our animals were eaten up, except the horses. We didn't eat horse, so we have that going for us.
I mean, so pick the horse.
Could love your horse, and it was fine. You didn't have to worry about eating it.
It just might get old.
But for grocery budgeting, we do meal planners.
Yes.
Personally, I have a friend that is really good at it. I'm like, meh at it.
I haven't been great at it lately.
I have great visions, and it just doesn't come to full fruition. That's my problem.
See, I was planning great for about a month, and then I am too ADHD for... I have great hopes.
And you're like,
and it's a week by week planner, and they sell them on all kinds of different companies, and I love them so much. But it takes, you thinking about it and
dedication.
And I have the mind of a squirrel.
So I've got my little whiteboard.
My Patronus is a squirrel, by the way.
Aww.
I took that test online. My Patronus is a red squirrel.
I think mine's a cat or dog.
And I looked at that and I said, that is 100% accurate. You are correct, Harry Potter.
You're like, you've got it, JK. Anyway, so budgeting, I write out like my weekly menu on my whiteboard that you may or may not have seen in a previous photo. This is mine. I really use it for realsies, but I'll be like, all right, Monday night we're eating this. Tuesday night is game night, like as in game, as in like my kids have a game somewhere. So guess what? You get what you get, whatever you find in the freezer is usually how that works, or we're picking up something. We don't eat out very often. I can't afford to feed everybody if we eat out all the time.
Yeah.
So those are few and far between, but usually it's how it's written out. So Monday is this, Tuesday is this, Wednesday is this, Thursday is this, Friday is always pizza night. By God, it's always pizza night. And so Friday's always pizza. It's guaranteed pizza unless we have plans to be somewhere. But it helps us know, like, for the week, okay, so if I get home late, my husband knows what to put on the stove, like, and prep and help get ready. He's like, oh, hey, it says we're having chicken. Is this the chicken you want me to pull out? And how did you want me to cook it? And I'm like, oh, my God, I love that. It's so hot right now. When he wants to, he was like, let me help you get dinner. I'm like...
You sure are looking like Tom Selleck right now.
You look like Tom Selleck right now. So hot.
So responsible.
But it helps with those kind of moments that he's like, oh yeah, she said this is what we're doing. I can look at it and see this is what we're doing. And this is how he can help me get... Because sometimes he gets off work an hour earlier than I do, which, that's nice. I really appreciate that. And sometimes I can get off work earlier, but it helps us as a family unit when he can and I can work together and plan it together. But again, that goes back to that teamwork makes the dream work. We both have to be a part of it. It's not that I said, hey, we're having chicken, and he goes, well, I'd really rather have the pork chops tonight, so I'm going to cook pork chops, even though they're not ready.
It also really helps with compliance with sticking to the plan.
Right, because you're like, no, I already took this out.
Because if someone wasn't assisting with that, and an hour later you get home and now you're too tired to do it, now all of a sudden we're eating pizza on Thursday and ruining our plan.
Yeah. But when you're meal planning these and budgeting for your meals and stuff like this, I always include my breakfast, my coffee, and my lunches. Because dinner, I think everybody thinks, oh yeah, I eat dinner at home. But you also eat breakfast and coffee.
I completely agree.
Or lunch.
Also, breakfast is the most important meal to me. Like, will be good with just eating a bowl of cereal at night. But if I don't have a hot meal in the morning, I have a bad day.
Oh.
I'm a very pleasant person because I eat breakfast every day.
I did not know that. See, coffee is what saves everybody.
If you take me on vacation, just know my ass is going to be up in the morning looking for food.
That's fair. I just need that coffee. I feel like the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, just coffee. It's fine. I don't know. So I usually here lately I eat like a yogurt for breakfast, but I have like 3 cups of coffee with my yogurt. Yeah. So it's not healthy by any means because I also like cream and sugar, or at least creamer in my coffee. But that's what I have to do. So I budget for that and I plan for that. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna have this breakfast, and everybody needs. I have to have coffee because it keeps everybody else safe. And then my husband packs our lunches every day, so we always plan for our lunches to be at home. Very seldom do we have like enough leftovers that I can be like, oh, I'm just going to take these leftovers for lunch, which is totally a viable option. But it's nice that we have all the sandwich fixings. We've got sometimes he likes to make like chicken and rice, casserole type dishes that we take for lunches.
I love casseroles.
I'm totally a casserole
because I literally throw everything in a casserole.
And it can live in the fridge until you get home and throw it in the oven. Oh my! Or in the freezer. Oh my god, I love a casserole. So those are like very easy ways to budget. Like those are bare basic. I did look up a website. It's called RamseySolutions.com. This is the simplest way to define how to make a budget. All right, y'all ready? It's how to make a budget, a step-by-step guide. 1, list your income. 2, list your expenses. 3, subtract your expenses from income. 4, track those transactions. 5, make a new budget before the month begins. That's
so
it.
Simple.
That's literally.
It's just that it can get very complicated, but if you simplify it like that, it's going to take a lot of that pressure off of yourself.
And it gets easier the more you do it. So I literally sit down at the end or towards the end of every month, and I write down my budget every single month. I have to, because everything changes.
Yes.
I like to know how much play money I got.
And so when it does change, you go, oh no, where's that money going to come from?
I had to budget for school supplies, which also means new clothes and new shoes, because by God, the little won't stop growing, or tearing them up, whichever. He generally grows out of them and tears them up at the same rate. But but you have to plan for these things.
In a Buc-ee's bathroom. We left one. Just one shoe. I will tell you, my husband's the one who put him in the car with one shoe on and didn't think this is an odd moment.
And was like, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. But at least he had shoes on, because I can't guarantee I take my kid in places with shoes on half the time. I can't get him to keep them on. So we just carry him a lot of places. Don't touch the floor. I'm going to hold you.
I can't carry my kid. He's too heavy.
Yeah, yours is heavy.
Y'all's are about the same size. He must be like, what's it called? Like how Pitbull is super heavy, compared to its size. Mm-hmm. It's like all muscle or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe that my child is all muscle or anything like that.
Yours is solid,
He's just dense or something. He's denser. He's heavy.
Yeah. He is. Like when you pick them up. Mine weighs 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I think yours weighs like 50.
I don't know.
Like, that's what it feels like.
Heavy.
Yeah. And they're not any, like, bigger, like, they stand next to each other. Mine's taller.
Yes.
By a little bit.
They're about the same size.
But they're about the same. I don't know where yours packs it in.
But he's heavy.
All right. Well, I'm going to digress. This wine was really good.
I loved it. 15 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah. Like, this is fantastic. This is going to go really good with dinner tonight. I'm going to
super
spice
excited
up
with pork chops.
Those pork chops, and they're going to be good. Good.
Speaking of which, we got to get off of this so that we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because our kids are going to start screaming at us. They're hungry.
They're hungry. I'm hungry. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this wine and motherhood adventure. Thank you for tuning in and turning up with us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Mom's Guide to, that's the number 2, wine. Leave us a love note, episode suggestion, or just say hi.
Hey.
This is Eliza.
And this is Rosie.
And we'll be spilling with you soon.
I don't know why we did that.